22nd season, 488 wins, closing in on the 500 mark. The officials for tonight will be Sean Corbin, Mark Distaiola, and Joe Mingle. And for those who might wonder in these neutral games, they are out of the Big East. We're underway, and Bob Sura controls the opening tip.
Great matchup right here. Chris Reynolds and Sammy Cassell.
Florida State, in their last game, came flying out of the gun. There's Sam Cassell, and he nails a three-pointer to start the game.
He's been a big-time performer out of the gate for Florida State, playing the point guard slot with Charlie Ward, still playing football.
Charlie Ward will be playing for Bobby Bowden against Florida and the Gators this weekend. Nice cut there by Calbert Chaney. The jumper won't fall. Henderson after the rebound and converts.
They're really high on Henderson. They really feel his development physically. He's gotten a lot stronger over the summer. Had that big game against Tulane. Really dominated in the lane.
They needed the dominance as well, as Tulane mounted a tremendous comeback from 30-plus down to get within 10.
We have some great matchups here. Tremendous athletes playing head-to-head, almost like an NBA situation where matchups become important. That's backcourt comment when he said, seems like you've been here 10 years. He said it feels like it. Reynolds dishes it back out. Stolen away by Bob Sura. Shady after him. Behind the back look on move. He loves the crowd. Loves to get him going. Cassell again for three. Won't go, and rebounding is Calbert Chaney. Good inside position by Chaney. One of the elements of Indiana's defense. Block out.
Henderson rattles that one home.
You know, everybody talks about Chris Webber, certainly a dominant sophomore in college basketball, but Henderson is not far behind. He has good offensive skills, and he can block shots on the interior.
Sura's open for three. That won't fall. High off the backboard. Edwards has the rebound stripped as he goes up, and they'll
rotate back into a man-to-man.
And they get the steal. Sura dishes it off to Cassell, who converts.
Nice two-man basketball. Good look. Sura has the head up at all times. And there's the relaxed general, Robert Montgomery Knight. 2-1-2. You got to get to the wings against the 2-1-2.
Ball is kicked. Reset area for it. There's the cut again. Greg Graham off the glass, kisses it home.
He's been playing brilliant. The reason Damon Bailey is not starting. Graham provides a lot of quickness and scoring ability.
Cassell trying to do it by himself. Doesn't find anything.
Not the role of a point guard, John. He has the mentality of a scorer.
Henderson tries to do it by himself at the other end, and Sura control. Whoa! With a man on the
block shot, baby. Mr. Henderson.
Henderson with the help, and then at the other end, Chaney reverses it.
Has a chance to be a player of the year candidate this year, big time. When you look at the great players in college basketball this season, the name Calbert Chaney comes out. Little stack offensively. Edwards has got to get active. He's got to really try to move. He's being played by Henderson.
Sura, nice move underneath, but then has nowhere to go. Dobard up with it and drops it home.
He's really a solid player. Doesn't get a lot of ink. You hear about Sammy Cassell and Douglas Edwards and certainly Bob Sura, but you don't hear about Dobard, a great role player.
Reynolds, Henderson underneath, try to find Nova, but the defensive help was there.
I think Indiana's a very difficult team to pressure and traps. They got some really good shooters. They get open shots against the pressure.
Cassell underneath to Edwards. Nova by himself. Looks like he got him on the wrist. I think Pat Kennedy thought he got him on the wrist as well.
Pat Kennedy learned the trade, working for Jimmy Valvano at Iona.
Sura along the baseline. He's blocked by Nova.
That's a special art to have. Shot blockers inside really creates problems for the opposition. And especially if you can convert the block shot up in transition and have a guy like Chaney just knock it down.
Indiana's 4-point lead now, just about 4 minutes into this contest.
Chris Reynolds, look at a defensive stance. One of the elements in Indiana's defense, pressure the basketball. Deny it on a wing, beat the cutter to the ball, and block out the 4 parts of their defense.
Edwards, it won't go with the left hand. And Graham comes the other way. He's got Chaney on his wing, but dishes to Reynolds, gets it back, and Cassell strips it.
Productive in terms of open shots is unbelievable throughout their career, Bobby Knight's career.
Sam Cassell is furious. He Indiana early on shooting 63%. You talk about those high percentage shots. They're getting them. There's another one from Calvert Chaney.
Just a simple two-man play, rolls to the basket. Execution, execution, execution. That's been the key for Indiana during the Bobby Knight era. Good man-to-man defense. They have several constants to their game, John. Defense being one and execution offensively.
Edwards just bull.
And right behind, waiting right there, anywhere from 11 to about 20 at Georgia Tech. And also you have to put in Wake Forest with Rodney Rogers.
It's Damon Bailey who gives up the shot and tries to find Nova. Saved underneath, and Florida State comes away with it.
Nova turned away from the basketball.
On the baseline, Dobart, it won't go.
Dobart's got quick feet. He's an excellent transition player. Always trying to make the extra pass, Indiana. Looking for the open man.
The shot outside is a three-pointer from Graham that rattles in.
That senior class of Indiana, they've won 56 games the last 2 years, 27 and 29. That's a lot of wins, John. They came out of high school rated very high. The Chaney group, Graham, Pat Graham.
Indiana now on a 12-2 run to open up a 9-point lead. Edwards, that won't go, and one and done. That's about it. Bailey runs into Cassell.
See, Florida State scrambling on defense, leaving men wide open.
Graham can't get the shot. Sura the other way. Behind his back, leans in and draws the foul. He rides for free.
Get off my
he's
back,
a little
you
upset
guys,
about
those
that.
elevator rides. You drive me nuts.
We want to send our best along to Jimmy V, of course. Did a tremendous job the other night. Indiana converting on the other end. Evans now on the floor for them.
He's a very important player. They're going to miss the void, I think, of losing Eric Anderson. And a guy like Evans has got to give him some productivity on that baseline.
Sura cuts in, but it won't drop. Nice job by Edwards to chase it down to the hole. And that's an offense.
That's an important player, because if you look at Indiana's stand play, remember we had Jimmy Oxley, and remember we had, I mean, it's amazing. He knows his basketball, and he can flat out coach football.
Graham long with that shot, but the good hustle by Indiana, they chase it down. Number 33 is Pat Graham now on the floor for Indiana as well.
This guy's a key. He can really stroke the ball. He's an excellent shooter, Brian Evans. He can give him some positive minutes. It'll be a great help.
Shot won't fall. Wells comes up with a rebound, and Cassell heads the other way.
See, Sam's looking to shoot. He's looking to shoot off that dribble move, and I don't know if that's great at your point guard slot, John. It doesn't get other people involved. This kid's an NBA star in the future. He can get out in transition. He can knock down the long jump shot. He's become a little bit more active offensively. He is really going to have a great chance this year to be drafted exceptionally high in that NBA draft.
Calvert Chaney, part of a 12-0 Indiana run.
And it's coming off their defense. Look at Chaney now getting out in the break.
Graham does it by himself, though, and gets a kind roll.
Super quickness to the goal. They're really playing well, Indiana, defensively, offensively, especially at this time of the year. But an experienced team. See, that's the advantage in terms of the rule right now. An experienced team like Indiana has an advantage over a team that loses a lot of players.
Greg Graham is doing a nice job on Cassell defensively. They switch there. Wells takes it in, throws it hard off the glass, and finally gets it to drop.
Excellent one-on-one move by Wells. They say he's really improved as a player. See how they flash and go opposite with the ball against the trap?
Into the middle, they'll call it trap.
Stroke that jump shot. He was part of that great class that also included Lawrence Funderburk and Chris Lawson. Both have transferred. Funderburk now a star at Ohio State. Lawson down at Vanderbilt.
Sura long with a three-pointer. Edwards with a good job to rebound and then convert it.
Good offensive rebound by Edwards. You know, he had 38 2 years ago at Syracuse, the Carrier-Dome against Billy Owens. So he can flat out play.
Turnover. Edwards.
Nice. There it is, Jam City. Seminoles say they love it. Bobby Bowden jumped out of his seat back there in Seminole land. Said, hey, I like them. He's got to get ready for Steve Spurrier and the Gators this weekend.
Ball was back into the game. You know, played a lot of point guard over his career. He was a point guard in high school at Dunbar in Baltimore. So,
oh, he's an excellent player. There's no question. He's a combo guard to play either position. When he's not shooting well, I think he starts to press, and he tries to take that extra shot that's not there, and everybody else stands around.
One thing, though, about Sam Cassell is he's not going to stop shooting it.
I still like Duke, though. You know, by the way, today, Bobby Knight sang his praises like you couldn't believe at lunch, and there's Chaney, a baseline floater. He said that Mike Krzyzewski excels in every basic area that's important to coaching. Recruiting, public relations, the technical aspects of the game.
Chaney now 6 for 8 from the field. Dobard is a pretty tough shot.
Dobard's got that nice turnaround jump shot. They got to get the ball in his hands a little bit more, John.
There are a lot of offensive weapons on the Florida State team.
See, there's the traps going to leave guys wide open. They're going to get the open shot. Well, there's the deflection. Good defense right there. But 7 out of 10 times, they'll come down with the open shot. See, that's
just by himself, and then Byron
defeated. You got to salute him for that. Hello! Yes, sir.
Chaney.
And all the NBA scouts jump, and they say, well, baby, Calvin Chaney. Woo! I love him. I've been a big fan of his throughout his career.
Lorenzo Hands, number 11 for Florida State.
He's a slasher. Senior, good role player off the bench. Getting a lot of minutes now with Charlie Ward not here.
Wells is open and knocks it down. That's just a 2-pointer.
Matt Kennedy was singing his praises in terms of getting quality minutes about a guy that really has developed. Indiana really defines teams year in and year out. Solid program.
Wide open is Evans. Shot's no good, and quickly Dobard is there, or rather Edwards is there for the rebound.
Florida State's got to get a little bit more ball movement. One pass and a shot. See, there's another example. One pass and shot. Not making the extra pass, which is important to breaking defenses down.
They're not getting up the floor the way they did against Iowa State ahead of the defense. Chaney way out, and that one's over.
They had 86 wins in their 3 years, talking about Quinn Buckner's group back in the mid-70s. Now, they didn't play as many games, but these kids, if they have a big year, they can tie that group or catch that group.
Cassell with the miss, turns around. Can't get the shot off. Indiana's Chris Reynolds comes away, spins around or almost around Cassell.
Very limited offensively, gets maximum out of his game, though, and understanding how to play. Big-time player right there. That's a PT Beer, baby. Prime-time performer, Alan Henderson.
Indiana's lead is 11.
There'll be 3 great Souths this year in that Big Ten. Glenn Robinson. Get ready, America, for Glenn Robinson at Purdue.
Evans dishes it to Hands, who reverses it and scores.
Lorenzo Hands, somebody broke down defensively for Indiana. No communication. That's forcing the play. Real bullets.
Tough to do it here in the Garden. Number 15 for Florida State is Scott Shepard. Nice job by Reed to come over and help out.
Interesting story. Scott Shepard from out of Indiana was one of the finalists for Player of the Year. Mr. Basketball, he can shoot the ball. He's all fired up playing against the Hoosiers because they didn't recruit him.
Also wore number 2 for the first 2 games of the year, which is illegal.
That's an illegal number. You're not allowed to wear number 1 and 2. No help defensively at all. All the players of Florida State staring at their man. Nobody sees the ball to rotate over to give any help to take the driving lane away. Shepard, what a family of basketball at Carmel, Indiana. His dad, Billy, was Mr. Basketball. Felt with their personnel that they really didn't need a player of his stature in terms of the backcourt, and he wanted to go to the ACC, so he visited Wake Forest, Carolina, and Florida State. And he was so excited after the Iowa State game when he found out they were playing the Hoosiers, and now he's got his chance right here. He's all excited. His family's probably all pumped up in Carmel, beautiful city in Indiana.
Into the lane, bounces it off his own foot. Reynolds lobs it up for Henderson. Hard up.
Oh, what a great play.
Tip it.
Tremendous agility to make that happen with the left hand after the missed layup. He and Glenn Robinson hooked up against each other in high school. Glenn Robinson's team dominated them out there at the Hoosier Dome. That's going to be an interesting battle when Purdue hooks up with Indiana. Jim Katie's got a good one.
Get a chance to see Purdue this weekend coming up.
Against Connecticut.
Tip-off classic here on ESPN. Sir, a nice pass from his seat of his pants to Reed. Finally, it's knocked down by Edwards.
Good offensive rebound.
Oh, bullet pass from Reynolds in, but Graham doesn't get it.
Florida State's a very explosive club. One quick spurt, they can get right back.
Sir just lets it fly.
There it is.
Out near the NBA strike.
Down 5, and they haven't played well. Indiana played well in the first 10 minutes.
Sir's first field goal of the game, and when you're a shooter like he is, you're just going to keep letting it go. Nova breaks free and gets hammered. Excellent season now. He will need reconstructive surgery on his knee. Well, that's another shooter.
Already injuries have taken its toll. Tulane loses Kim Lewis, a solid player.
Edwards, a nice move, and then leans back to drop it.
Well, poor defense right there by Indiana. Post defense, not really what Bobby Knight likes to teach. Didn't deny the ball, didn't beat the man to the ball.
Nice job by Henderson to keep it alive.
He has really become much more active. There's the extra pass.
Swinging it around, won't fall. Bounces right into the hands of Nova. He loses it. Chaney has it and drops it.
Well, he loses it in the hands of the right guy because Talbot Chaney knows how to score.
Chaney now with 15 points.
Can you imagine this team if they had Thunderbird? It would be frightening.
Cassell, good job to go after the rebound. Again, Edwards.
Douglas Edwards starting to use that body of his, spreading people away. Taking a lot of space.
Indiana once led by 15. It's now 4, but you can't stop that.
I'd get out of that trap. I really would. I think after a while, it's good to utilize in terms of tempo. It's good to utilize for certain spurts. But against Indiana, they're eventually going to get the easy layup. Indiana's got some good athletes. They don't have plotting kind of people.
Wells tried to get it into Edwards, tipped away.
Oh, nice pass.
Reynolds misses the layup, though. Nice job by Dobard to change it a little.
Poor Reynolds, not a shooter, has the open layup.
Sura again out near the end.
Being down 6, and they haven't shot well.
Sura almost comes up with the steal. Nice job by Graham to hang on to it.
Chaney uses the curl move exceptionally well, where he really runs the guy off the screen, curls out for the basketball. Got to know your options. Got to know who the guys are that you want to score. Chaney, after screens, likes to step back.
Shot clock is down below 10. Henderson.
Watch them screen. Try to read screens. Very important to play for Indiana. Utilize the screen. I thought Steve Walker was the best I've ever seen in college using the screen when he played for the Hoosiers. Henderson's gotten a lot stronger. He's able to hold post position a lot better than he did last year.
Nice firing pass down under there with Graham. Again, won't get the layup to go in. Sura just pulls up for 3 and rattles it in.
Well, the one thing about Florida State, they play so loose and easy. They have great flexibility and a freedom. Almost very similar to Syracuse, where the kids of Syracuse in transition. I really believe that's why they become better NBA players, because they're allowed to have that freedom to take a shot.
Edwards with the steal to Sura. Oh, he's tackled. That's got to be intentional.
The Rocket. He's playing in your territory up in Canada.
He's not playing at all right now.
Oh, nobody back defensively.
Oh, and again he gets hammered.
Trust, they won the high school state championship together. Played at Lawrence North High School out of Indianapolis. Eric going to have a big year this year for North Carolina. He's improved so much at the end of the year, the big guy.
Sura almost with the steal on Leary. Cheney. The quick dish, and Greg Bright.
Madison Square Garden. I had a blast here this morning. You came in a little bit later, but I was by myself. But boy, a ball of dream. With my ball shooting here, dreaming that I was playing for Seton Hall and beating Indiana at the buzzer.
Cassell is short. I know that it might have been a ball in a dream, but certainly you are far from being a boy, Dick.
Oh, I acted that well. You always tell me that anyway.
25 seconds to go in a 37-37 game. A great way to tip it off the semifinals here in the NIT.
Well, these are two heavyweights. These are two Riddick Bows. I mean, this is not any... Oh, nice cut.
Leary gets all alone under there, and Cassell.
Hi, Florida State. Let's see who they put it in the hands of.
Derek Carroll, they better get it off. They don't get
don't get it off. Don't count it. Don't count it. Too late. Too late. Good job by the officials early in the season as well. Mingle. Right now, you look at Corbin and also DiStatola. Got a nice little paisan out there blowing the whistle.
Florida State was down 22-7. They trail by 2 now at a halftime. Right now.
Is basically, we look at last season in terms of free throw differential. Look at the numbers right now. Indiana, first 2 games, had a plus 37. They were 79 attempts to only 42 for the opposition in the first 2 games. Today, they've only been to the line 3 out of 5 times. That is not typical Indiana basketball.
And certainly some of the indications, although he's down by 2, have to be good for Pat Kennedy.
He's 2 stars. Cassell and also Sura were 4 for 17, and you're only down a deuce.
Nover travel.
Easy shots for the opponents. Really is not when you talk about the presence of Dobart and Edwards around the basket. Reed also gives a presence there at 7 feet.
Cassell just lets it go. That one was halfway down the hoop before it rattled back out.
He just loves to play, Sammy Cassell. He's a traveling man. He's been all over. Started his career, well, high school, Dunbar.
San Jacinto Junior College.
Well, then he went to Maine Central Institute prior to going to San Jacinto when he signed with the ball.
Reed again with the big hands up in the face of Nover. And Sura, behind the back and reverse.
Oh, baby! Showtime in November. Are you serious? Sura to Sammy. Slick Sammy with the deuce on a reverse.
And we are tied at 39.
He's had to jump out of his seat. He's got to like that. They didn't do that down in Delaware.
We know Tom did. The ball is blocked along the baseline by Dobart as Henderson tried to get the shot. Sura with a nice pass into Edwards, who finds Dobart.
See, right now, if you're Bobby Knight, you got to think about a timeout. You got to think about a timeout and settling your club a little bit down. In fact, he's calling, almost using like a timeout, and communicating a call set, structured pattern that he wants here.
Florida State's first lead since 5-4. Damon Bailey can't get it.
Edwards, a great inside passer. There's an example. Sammy Cassell, 1 against 4, the freedom to shoot the ball. That really defies, the coaching in terms of coaching strategy. When you talk about shot selection, balance, good rebound and position.
Florida State out to a 6-0 run to start the second half, and out to a 4-point lead.
Damon Bailey.
Indiana tried to catch Florida State sleeping. Sura was quickly on in the break, but they didn't find him.
Sura likes to get out on that break. He gets behind the defense really well. Allows the big guys to go inside and rebound.
We used to call that cherry picking.
That's what I used to like to do. Let everybody else do the dirty work and play the defense.
Edwards with Henderson on him. Henderson with a nice block. Nover comes up with it and finds.
Give it up and get it back. Should have given it up a little sooner and got it back. I remember 4 years ago he got blitzed here. Gave up like 17,000 points against Indiana, against Syracuse in North Carolina. They came back and they won the Big Ten.
Sura fights his way in by himself. Edwards the rebound, and he is fouled.
He's really doing a great job on the offensive boards. One of the reasons that they're staying with him, our fine statistician Marty tells us, he says offensive rebounds, and that's number 6 for Mr. Edwards.
Brian Evans, number 34, comes in for Indiana, replacing Alan
Oh,
Henderson.
look at the change of direction. Little change of direction, splits the defense. Nova doesn't rotate over to close the lane. And there's the offensive rebound. Came out of Miami. I just wonder if Leonard Hamilton had been right there at Miami, if he would have gotten away and went out to Seminole land. Because Leonard Hamilton really is going to start to build a solid program as Knight doing some coaching on the
As we
sideline.
mentioned earlier, his brother didn't get away from Miami, so you have to wonder as well if he would have.
Yeah, they would have had a nice little young backcourt with Frazier and also Edwards down there in the Big East. Damon Bailey's got to start to look at the basket and put some points on the board. It's playing to me a little bit tentative. There is now a 1-3-1 trap. Come to the post. Should be some open shots on a baseline against this. Now they rotate. They stay in the zone. They stay in a little trapping zone. I think Indiana gets the high percentage shot against this.
Dobard called for the foul as Chaney tried to go around him. You mentioned Damon Bailey. Last year in games that Indiana won, he had 14 points a game, or thereabouts in an average. In games they lost, 7 points. And you mentioned the times he was shut out.
So many accolades coming out of high school.
Graham tries to find Evans, or rather Nover. Nover loses it and it gets away.
I think good decision right there. Florida State rotating out of the zone, going to the man-to-man, playing them head-to-head, utilizing their athletic ability. Athletic ability, when we talk about it, means good lateral quickness, good up and down speed, excellent jumping ability.
Cassell just does it by himself from end to end.
He's just a big-time scorer. He's got one advantage on most of these people, John. He's approaching 24 years of age, and that is a big, big plus.
Nover turns around with a hand in his face. That was Reed. Edwards.
He's a good passer. Looks over the top of the defense. Sara, he's going to let it fly.
He's going to let it fly about 6 inches short. Dobard is wide open, and he cans it.
He's got a nice little jump shot. Gets the excellent look at the basket. Bobby Knight's team needs a spark somehow.
It's an 8-point lead for the Seminoles. Bob Knight needs to talk.
Bud Dry is one beer that drinks easy like a light and has real draft taste. So why not come around to something refreshingly different? Try Bud Dry.
It's a car that renders meaningless such adjectives as European, American, or Japanese. Introducing the Chrysler Concorde, nothing less than the renaissance of the American car.
Ooh, darling, I need you so, never gonna let you go.
Capture the ones you love without missing out on the fun yourself with a Sony Handycam, America's most popular camcorder.
30 Eastern Time at midnight.
I want to say, John, on behalf of all of us, we send our sympathy to Lou Henson's family. Lost his son, Lou Jr., in a car accident. And Lou will be at the Great Alaska Shootout with Illinois. Our hearts go out to Lou and Mary Henson.
Absolutely.
They're over. The last 8 minutes, Indiana's been without a field goal.
Florida State in this half, 11-1, outscoring Indiana from down 2. 5-second count. I have known Sam Cassell since he was about 10 years old.
He's got a nice personality.
Great kid. Chaney is short.
He's 0 for 2 in the first 5 minutes in his half, Calvert.
Damon Bailey gets his first deuce.
Well, they call that garbage points, but he just has a nose. Always seems to be around the basket. has capability to put a lot of points on the board. I think he's got to play a lot more minutes. I mean, I'm not the coach. I'm not certainly a Hall of Famer like Robert Montgomery Knight. But I think they need Damon Bailey's productivity if they're going to win big, big, big. Leary, he can shoot the ball, Leary. Bailey, an excellent passer. They got to get some help for Chaney. He can't do it himself scoring.
He cut the lane off for Chaney.
Look for Leary looking to spot up and shoot a three. Florida State's got to be aware of his three-point shooting ability.
Dumping it down for Calbert Chaney, who was cutting in. The shot was a tough one.
Real tough shot. Dobart's really got quick feet defensively. That's not a tough one. Little slam jam bam by Mr. Chaney.
Damon Bailey with the nice feed after he ran down the loose ball.
Damon Bailey knows how to play. Has great feel and understanding for the game. One of Bobby Knight's biggest complaints, he thinks Damon can pick it up intensity-wise a little more.
If you're not intense, you're going to see a lot of bench for Bob Knight.
Yeah, you become a little BT, bench time.
Cassell, that's a three-pointer.
Oh, that's 3 shots.
Sure
He gets 3 attempts at the basket. That definitely would.
8-point Florida State lead. Bailey tries to take it to the baseline and does manage to draw a foul.
They clear.
Struggling at the free throw line.
That's not typical of Indiana. Usually a very good, productive team on the free throw line.
Cassell so quick underneath, stopped once, but not twice.
He's got some great offensive skills. He really does. They play without a true point guard, but really they have such great scoring ability out of Sora and also out of Cassell.
11 points for Cassell.
Locks it up defensively. Could have a
5
jump.
seconds. 5-second count.
That's a violation. Violation. I said jump ball. I'm thinking years ago it would have been jump ball. They got rid of that rule, and deservedly so, because it used to penalize the defense.
Byron Evans comes in for Andre Reed. 10-point lead for Florida State. And the basketball.
That ACC is going to have quite a race. Carolina certainly is going to be a good basketball team. We know how good Duke's going to be. Hey, Virginia, Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech will be there as well.
Cassell just fires it up. Look at Sura going up for the rebound.
Oh, nice look. Nice look. Very unselfish by Sura. The Wilkes-Barre super. He dumps it off. He says, move aside, rock it up. The new star in Wilkes-Barre. Rocket Ismail also from there.
A block underneath.
Indiana's not able to make anything happen with their defense in creating little layups by forcing turnovers against the guards. Sura with the long rebound. There's the 6, 3.5, and there's the little dump. Look at the good vision. And he turns, the no-look pass. I think you're going to see a lot of 3-guard offense out of Florida State when Charlie Ward comes, and you'll see Sura playing a lot on the wing with Sammy Cassell now going into the scorer's role completely at the 2nd guard slot.
We talked with Pat Kennedy yesterday. He cannot wait for Charlie Ward to come back. As good as his team looks right now, they had the Florida State quarterback.
Hey, you talk about a kid they can't wait to get next year. They're all ranting and raving. James Collins coming in to score from out of Jacksonville for Florida State, a guard who replaced Sammy Cassell. They think he could be an instant star. And Indiana, what a great recruiting class. In fact, if you had to rate the top 5 classes signing early, Indiana, Kansas, and Duke would be right there. Look at that good look inside.
Great pass by Cassell. It's run down. It's still Florida State back shot. Cassell trying for Derek Carroll. Dobart on the baseline. Look at Sura follow. Cassell just turns around, fires it up.
Indiana not blocking out, not really doing what they're taught in the 4th phase of their defense.
Nice job by Bailey to find Greg Graham.
Good execution in transition off the miss, but they're really getting beaten on the glass. Not blocking out, got to find somebody. Florida State's got live legs.
Sura never really had control of that ball.
Here's the guy that's got to get involved. Right there, Henderson. Good defensive effort.
What a tremendous hustle by Sam Cassell to get back on Alan Henderson. It's 56 action.
I can't wait. I mean, basketball already. This is unbelievable. Thanksgiving holiday. Macy's Parade tomorrow.
Are you in that? I understand they have a new float. Looks just like you.
Ooh. As Pat Graham got a good look at the basket. He looks a little heavier, Pat Graham, to me.
Nice job by Greg Graham on defense.
Sammy wants a foul. He says, Joe Mingo, please, come on now. He's banging me. I'm a star. He can't do that. Last 15 minutes, Henderson has not been involved in the offense. They got to get Alan Henderson involved. They're becoming one-dimensional right now. Calvert Chaney time.
And he had Derek Carroll on him. Carroll, a freshman, he schooled him.
South Carolina kid. They really expect big things from him. A slasher, quick player.
Dobar gets the return. Wells with a nice follow.
Indiana really getting beaten to the glass. Really on the second shot. Indiana likes to catch the ball, get a triple threat position, look down inside.
Carroll called for that foul.
Now, we talked about one of the elements to a good team defense, Indiana style, is blocking out. Look at right there. Wells goes to a direct lane to the basket. Nobody lays a body on him. You're a defensive player. You got to find your man. Look at the offensive rebound, 16-9. That means you're playing aggressive basketball. One of the keys to playing aggressive basketball, forcing the turnovers, steals, offensive rebounding, block shots.
Edwards with 7 of those offensive boards. Pat Graham.
That's what he does best. Stroke the jump shot. That's why he was Mr. Basketball. Sat last year out, red shirt, foot surgery.
Lead is now down to 6.
Good defense by Graham. Good denial. Serve out of California. Robbie Eggers, 6'10". They double it up inside.
Searle lets it fly and cans it.
He's just a big-time scorer. ACC Rookie of the Year. Beat out some quality people. Beat out James Forrest for that award. Georgia Tech's final.
Pat Graham is free, and that's a three-pointer for the Hoosiers.
Can't allow him to get a good look at the basket. You got to be aware. Scouting report, evaluation. He comes on the floor. You got to talk. Got to communicate to your teammate. He can shoot the ball, match up, get in his face. This is a big-time game, John, for this early in the season.
Nice steal by Graham.
This is Bowen Holyfield, baby. This is big time.
Number 1 of the semifinals of the NIT. Indiana led big early in this game, and right now, Florida State has a 5-point lead after getting up by 10.
Florida State playing good, solid team man-to-man defense. Indiana usually excels in the half-court offensive attack.
Chaney from the baseline.
You talk about player of the year this year. You have to think about Allen Houston, who can stroke it at Tennessee. You look at the senior class, you got to talk about this guy, certainly Bob Hurley down Duke. What will hurt Houston is the fact that they won't win as big as the Indiana kids and the Duke kids.
Chaney now with 25 points and closes it to 3.
Some underclassmen will make a run for that too. Mashburn of Kentucky. There's the turnover.
Cassell loses it. Alan Henderson.
Nice pass.
Chaney
Nice pass.
That won't fall. And Sura. Chaney's
He's
back
got a
on
trailer.
defense.
He's got the trailer. He should have kicked it back to the trailer. He tried to take Chaney, a little pride, a little macho time. He says, hey, come on, Chaney, try to defend me. And he had a slow and defensive transition getting back.
Chaney picks up the loose one and won't go. Edwards with the rebound.
They're just going exclusively right now to Calvert Chaney. They got to get a little help for him.
Cassell.
Wow, I'd be a TV star if I looked that good.
I don't think so.
Indiana's got to come up with a good defensive stop right here. What confidence Sammy Cassell and also Sura play with. They play with such confidence. Here's Hands now giving Sura a rest.
Tries to find Edwards.
Good defensive play by Henderson. At the stop they wanted. Give it up and get it back. Get it to your shooter.
Chaney with the dish to Pat Graham. And
boys, right away in that ACC, winning on the road like they did.
6 wins on the road. Not been done by a first-year team in the ACC before. Reynolds pulls it back out. Graham to the baseline. Some help there, but he still manages to muscle it in.
Excellent drive by Pat Graham, who's really a standstill shooter, but shows that he's also worked on taking the ball to the basket. Love the defensive stance and presence of Chris Reynolds. You talk about all defense, you better put him out there with Derek Phelps of down at Carolina.
That's Edwards for three, a little long. Wells, nice job with the rebound. Underneath to Sura, out of bounds.
Anytime you miss the basketball in Indiana, those kids start playing from day one, dreaming and chasing that dream to be a hoopster. On one goes into effect on the 7th. You start to shoot the bonus to 2 on the 10th.
Dobar turns around on top of Chaney, but is way too long.
I'd go to Henderson down in this possession. Get him involved.
Damon Bailey fires up a three. Good hustle underneath by Chaney. Everybody going for it.
There'll be some underclassmen who will join that NBA draft. But Jamal Mashburn, in fact, Rick Pitino said, I would be very surprised, basically, if it doesn't go, if he has a great year. In fact, he could advise him to go.
Edwards to Dobar. Back out to Sura. That's a three-pointer. It won't go, and underneath is Alan Henderson.
They had excellent execution out of the post play there. A little split off the post.
Bailey is stripped by Cassell.
America hooking up in New York City. Anytime you play for a tournament championship or a tournament trophy, people really, going to come and respond. First commandment of competition, thou shalt play hard.
Sam Cassell, nice job by Sura to chase that down. That was on his way out of bounds.
Indiana uniform, expectations galore. Almost like Notre Dame in football, Miami in football. Every time you play, people are expecting you to win. And people play at another level against you. They get so fired up.
Cassell jacks up the three. No good. Long rebound chased down by Chris Reynolds.
Shot selection could be the key and the difference in his game down the stretch.
To the baseline is Chaney.
Big time.
Give the Hoosiers the lead again.
He's awesome, baby. I mean, he is flat out awesome. You got to love him, Big John. Stop smiling at me here.
I'm loving being here watching this. Sura to the baseline. He's blocked by Henderson. Edwards gets it back, and again, they just put the shot up right away.
It really takes a real good... I mean, he's done a solid job defensively inside on Henderson. You don't hear his name mentioned a great deal. And now here's Indiana trying to get great execution out of their half-court game. 4 passes, little curl move into the lane. Grayson calls it, hi, Dick, how you doing? It's always like, okay, you got 30 seconds. And it's my dime, so start talking because the clock is running, you're off. I mean, that's just part of his way. Always looking to put you on the defensive. And he was playing with people there, even though he was really going to make my old Wacko team.
Looking to put Florida State on the defensive as well.
Look at Reed.
Reed does follow, but he missed. In there again, it's on the rim. Look at Dobar go after it.
NIT semifinals, 2 heavyweights going head-to-head. Here we go. 2-1-2 press. One of the reasons they try to get you out of a rhythm with that press. Now they fall back man-to-man as opposed to the zone like they did last year. Look at their last 2 losses the last 2 years to close out their season. Florida State lost to Indiana in the NCAA tournament.
Sura gets out on Pat Graham before he can jack it up.
He's their #1 option right here, Mr. Chaney.
Shot clock under 10.
Look for
Reynolds. Shakes free of his man. Great job by Dobar to block that.
Not the guy that Bobby Knight wanted to shoot the basketball right there. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a change. I mean, that's not the guy you want to shoot the rock. He had right there Reynolds. Graham flare into the corner.
Sura is open, rattles in, but won't roll home.
I mean, it was right there for Sura. There was no doubt he was going to shoot the rock right there. This guy here can shoot the ball. He's got to get open. Graham.
Sura 3 for 18 on the day, coming off of 34 against Iowa State. Chaney gets 3 men in the air, and he walks.
Excellent call.
Approaching 2 minutes to go, and we are tied.
Isolating Sams. Nice dish.
Sura backs out.
He's going to let it fly.
He is hammered by Pat Graham here. Get them when they count. Ask Ramil Robinson about that.
2-on-2 press. Get to the wings. Bring the ball to the middle. Get them out of that screening game. Now they're back into it.
Bailey tries to find the baseline. Reed cuts it off. Nice job by Reed. He has to bring it back out.
Good defensive presence by Reed on the inside. Oh, nice look.
Pass.
Nice look by Talbert Cheney. Follow through.
Indiana 9 for 17 from the free throw line.
That's not their trademark. Right here, Pat Kennedy's team's got to get a good look at the basket.
Throw to Edwards.
Edwards, a good interior passer. Probably the finest interior passer for a big player in the country. Down in the boxes. If you double up on him, he'll find the open man.
Cassell long with his jumper at the... Oh, Pat Graham with an easy deuce.
Oh, bad play by Sammy Cassell. Bad play and many...
That's interesting.
14 big points for Graham.
And a 2-point Indiana lead. Under a minute now.
Boyd Knobs, Indiana's got to be really happy with Graham. Boyd Central High School super was Mr. Basketball. What a performance. There's the defensive Bailey for offense.
Alan Henderson forced that turnover.
Look at the clock right now. They're going to try to spread the court. Bailey's the guy you might want to foul. I mean, he's been Brick City 0 for 3 on that line. Can't put a hand on him, Bob. They spread the court. There's a double up.
Turnover, they force it. Florida State gets it as Graham can't hang on to it. And Florida State calls a timeout with 22 seconds.
That's their last this week. Wow, I like the word Forgans. Here we go now. They spread the court, locking up defense, the clock winding down. Sort of having a bad night shooting it. They're going to go there. It's down in the box, baby.
Baseline.
There it is.
Gets it.
Tie game.
Timeout, Indiana.
They let too much time in that clock. Decision. Bob, so he doesn't get a good look for a baseball pass. Runs the clock down. Hands up. Good defense. I mean, that's a prayer. That's a total prayer. We're going OT.
You got to be impressed by the job Florida State did. There were 3 seconds left. Cassell lets it fly and has it.
Little one-on-one basketball. He's been doing that all his life in the streets of Baltimore. Out to Maine Central Institute where he played. Boy, that school's produced a lot of players. Johnny Rhodes, remember that name? He's going to be a big star. Maryland had 30 last night in an exhibition game. He played at Maine Central.
Henderson fights through the lane, but it's an offensive foul. 28 points, I believe, against Tulane.
I like that kid Reed down at Tulane. Anthony Reed can play. Execution right now. Indiana trying to execute. High percentage screen across the lane. Horizontal screen. Clint Edwards now playing Cheney.
Nice pass underneath the Bailey. Here's with 3 hands in his face. Henderson with the follow.
Nice tip by Allen. Good extension. He's got the long reach. Good fingertips. Been rotating a lot of bodies on Cheney. Sammy Cassell likes that high screen. There's the high screen. Screener steps out as a release man.
Edwards can't get it. Bounces free. Dobart quickly on Henderson. He finds his way out of trouble.
Indiana playing a little bit more patient now on the offensive end. Relying a little bit more on half-court execution. See, they got Edwards now doubling up on Cheney. Doesn't matter. He's so quick.
Wells with a good rebound after the miss by Cheney.
Ted Wells has gotten better and better from last year. 6'10" player. Good look at the basket. 15, as you said earlier, against Siena.
Played very well defensively in this contest.
Trying to get right here. He'll spread the court. Take advantage of his one-on-one ability.
Cassell throws it up underhanded. It won't go, and then he commits a foul.
Now let's see if Shepherd can handle this kind of pressure. He's not a super quick kid. Came to school a little bit heavy, but he's a good ball handler and a good shooter. What a time to get indoctrinated. Overtime game.
Sura on the baseline.
Shepard says, hey, I'll just get it to my guy Sura. They were hanging around the hotel lobby yesterday. I had a chance to rap with both guys in the lobby at the Marriott.
Cheney free, has to come back out with it to Chris Reynolds.
So they play off Reynolds. They know Reynolds is not going to look at the basket. Or is in a situation where he's sitting on a bench a little bit when he doesn't do things the right way.
Chance to become the all-time leading scorer in Indiana this year.
I guarantee Shepard didn't see defense in high school like he's going to see here out of Reynolds.
Oh, nice move by Edwards, but too strong off the glass. Wells saves it back out for Sura.
Excellent move by Doug Edwards, but doesn't convert.
Sura a little too strong with it.
Cheney gets fouled.
Edwards fouls him. Lead for Indiana.
I'm not inferring to be with the Knicks, but he'll be coming here with whoever he's playing with. Now here's Shepard now. Here's the storybook story. Indiana, schoolboy super. Playing against the Hoosiers.
Sura, that's a three-pointer. No good.
Sura struggling, shooting the rock. Let's see if they spread the court right now. Do they smell the final? The Hoosiers. The one negative losing here is you got to play a consolation. Here's the reach in. These seatbelts, baby. 20.9 seconds. You got an eternity right here. So there's the immediate foul. They want to stop the clock, make him go to the line, convert, but that's not the guy that you want out there on that line. There goes Graham to Robert Cheney, just watching him here and watching him on a tube against Tulane.
Florida State needs a quick one with no timeouts left. Back to two again as Sura drives. 5 seconds left.
Dangerous pass.
Almost stolen away. There's a quick foul.
Could have got the ball up the court in the end, and you just don't want to retreat defensively. You don't want to foul, but you want to put some pressure after the conversion right here. 3 points, they're going to Sura to the look.
Has to be a three, but no chance for it, and the clock expires with the Indiana Hoosiers a 3-point winner, 81-78.
What a super first game. There's Pat Kennedy and Bobby Knight.